Chosen one, listen carefully. This moment is not random, and you are not hearing this by accident. Something has shifted in the unseen realm, and you can feel it in your spirit even if you cannot yet explain it with words. You are standing on the edge of a wind that will silence doubters, expose hidden opposition, and reverse seasons of delay. That is why the instruction is unusual. That is why it feels uncomfortable. You are about to win, and because of that, you are being told to say nothing on Monday. You have survived too much to miss this moment by speaking too soon. You have already learned that not everyone who smiles at you wants you to arrive. Not everyone who listens deserves access to your process. Silence in this season is not weakness. It is strategy. It is alignment. It is obedience. What God is about to do for you does not require your explanation, your defense, or your announcement. It requires your restraint. There have been times when you spoke out of pain, and it cost you momentum. There were moments when you tried to clarify yourself, and all it did was give the enemy information. But this time is different. This time, heaven itself is placing a guard over your mouth, because what is forming around you is fragile to noise but powerful in stillness. Monday is not a day for reactions. It is not a day for posting, venting, correcting, or proving. It is a day for watching God move without interference. You may feel the urge to finally tell your side of the story. You may feel justified, even righteous, in speaking up now. But understand this: when God is about to vindicate you publicly, He often asks you to be silent privately. Your silence is the final test before elevation. Can you trust Him enough to let Him speak for you? There are people waiting for you to slip. They are watching closely, hoping you will reveal what God is doing too early. They want you emotional. They want you reactive. They want you distracted. But your restraint disarms them. When you don't speak, they overplay their hand, and when you don't respond, they expose themselves. When you stay silent, God steps forward. This is not the silence of fear. This is the silence of confidence. This is the silence of someone who knows the outcome is already decided. You are not quiet because you are unsure. You are quiet because you are secure. You are not withholding words because you are confused. You are withholding words because you are chosen. Remember how many times you were misunderstood. How many nights you prayed without answers. How many times you kept going while others quit. All of that was preparation for this exact instruction. If you can master silence at the edge of victory, you will be entrusted with more than you imagined. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 6, verse 6, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." Read that again slowly. What is done in secret will be rewarded openly. Your silence is not unseen. Heaven is watching. God sees your restraint. God sees your obedience. And the reward is already moving toward you. This is why you must not announce your breakthrough prematurely. This is why you must resist the urge to explain yourself on Monday. Let God finish the sentence. Let Him complete the work. Let Him speak in a way no human voice ever could. If this message resonates with your spirit, take a moment now to like this message so it reaches others who are standing at the same crossroads. Share it with someone who needs confirmation that silence can be powerful. And if you are part of this community of chosen ones, subscribe so you stay aligned with what God is releasing next. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement, comment 707 below, not out of habit, but as a declaration that you will obey even when silence is uncomfortable. trusting that victory is already yours. You are closer than you think. What feels like restraint is actually refinement, and what feels like delay is divine timing locking into place. Stay steady, stay quiet, and stay aligned. The final move is not yours to make. When the moment comes, it will be undeniable. You will not need to announce it, explain it, or defend it. The result will speak louder than any words ever could, and peace will confirm you obeyed. You are being asked to stay quiet on Monday, not because you are weak, but because timing is everything in the spiritual realm. There are moments when speaking feels natural, even necessary, yet heaven operates by a different clock. What you say too early can interrupt what God is still arranging behind the curtain. Silence, in this phase, is not passive. It is precision. Monday represents a threshold. It is the beginning of movement, the return to noise, the place where people expect reactions, updates, explanations. That is exactly why restraint matters now. The enemy plans around patterns. People expect you to respond the way you always have. They expect emotion, justification, or celebration. But God breaks patterns by calling you into stillness at the very moment noise seems appropriate. There is a divine reason for this instruction. Words carry weight. In Scripture, creation itself was shaped by spoken command, because words have power. Silence also has power when God ordains it. By staying quiet, you are refusing to release anything prematurely into the atmosphere. You are protecting what is still forming. You are guarding the seed before it breaks the soil. You may not see the full picture yet, but unseen alignments are happening. Conversations you are not part of are unfolding in your favor. Decisions are being reconsidered. Motives are being revealed. If you speak now, you risk shifting attention back onto yourself when God is intentionally moving focus elsewhere. Silence keeps you hidden while God works openly. This kind of obedience stretches trust. It forces you to believe that God can defend you better than your explanations ever could. It asks you to rest while outcomes are still uncertain. But this is exactly how faith matures. You are learning to let God be God without interruption. People often misunderstand silence. They assume it means agreement, fear, or defeat. But in the kingdom, silence can mean authority. Kings do not rush to speak. They observe, they wait. They know the outcome before it manifests. You are being trained to move with that same composure. There is also protection in this instruction. Not everyone around you needs access to what God is doing. Some people listen only to gather information. Some smile while hoping you fail. Silence removes their access. It starves curiosity. It blocks interference. What God intends to bless must sometimes be concealed until the appointed time. The reason Monday matters is because transitions are sensitive. Beginnings carry vulnerability. By remaining quiet at the start, you allow God to establish the outcome without contamination. Later, when the fruit is visible, words will no longer be necessary. Results will answer questions better than explanations ever could. Scripture says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 28, "Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues." This verse is not about intellect. It is about timing. Wisdom is knowing when not to speak. Discernment is recognizing that silence can communicate trust in God's control. You are being called into that wisdom now. You are not missing anything by staying quiet. You are not falling behind. You are not letting anyone win. On the contrary, you are positioning yourself correctly. Silence is aligning you with a higher strategy, one that does not depend on your effort but on God's authority. Soon, Clarity will arrive without force. Truth will surface without argument. Favor will appear without announcement. And when it does, you will understand why Monday required restraint. You will see that silence was not emptiness, but preparation. For now, remain steady. Let the noise pass you by. Let God complete what He started. What is coming next does not need your voice to arrive. It only needs your obedience. Hold your ground even when the silence feels heavy. The weight you sense is not pressure to speak, but pressure breaking off. Something old is losing its grip, and something new is settling into place without resistance. You may feel unseen in this pause, but you are not forgotten. Heaven is attentive to every restrained response, every word you chose not to release. This quiet obedience is being recorded more loudly than any declaration ever could. Trust that what is unfolding does not require your commentary. God is arranging outcomes that will speak with finality. When the moment comes, there will be no confusion, no debate, only clarity and peace. Remain still just a little longer. The silence is almost complete, and with it comes resolution. What follows will not need explanation, because the victory itself will answer every unanswered question. You have seen delay before, but few delays are as misunderstood as the one Daniel experienced. He prayed with a pure heart, fasted with discipline, and aligned himself fully with God's will, yet nothing happened for 21 days. No sign, no message, no visible response. From the outside, it looked like silence. From heaven's perspective, it was war. Daniel did not know that the moment he prayed, his answer was released. He did not see that an angel was dispatched immediately. What he also did not see was resistance in the unseen realm. A spiritual conflict unfolded beyond human perception. A battle that delayed manifestation but never canceled the outcome. This is critical for you to understand now, because your situation mirrors this pattern more closely than you realize. Your silence is not proof that nothing is happening. Your restraint does not mean heaven is inactive. In fact, the greatest movements often occur when nothing appears to move at all. Daniel stayed consistent. He did not abandon prayer. He did not escalate emotionally. He did not assume God had ignored him. He remained aligned while warfare raged above him. This is why you are being instructed to hold your peace. What you are facing is not a human delay. It is a timing intersection between obedience and resistance. If Daniel had stopped praying on day 20, history would read differently. If he had spoken doubt instead of maintaining faith, the atmosphere would have shifted. His consistency mattered. His restraint mattered. The unseen realm responds to posture. When you stay steady, you authorize heaven to continue. When you panic, speak prematurely, or retreat into frustration, you interfere with what God is already resolving. Silence, in moments like this, becomes a weapon. It denies the enemy leverage. It signals trust. It sustains momentum. There are battles you cannot fight with words. There are conflicts you win by staying aligned rather than outspoken. Daniel's answer arrived not because he forced it, but because he endured. And when it came fully formed, fully authorized, and right on time. The same principle applies to you. What is delayed is not denied. What is resisted is not defeated. There is a reason you feel pressure right now. Pressure often increases just before breakthrough. Resistance intensifies when opposition senses it is about to lose ground. The ancient words recorded in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 12, reveal this clearly. Do not be afraid. Daniel, since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, Your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. Read that slowly. Since the first day, not the 21st, not the moment the answer arrived. The first day, heaven heard you immediately. The delay did not negate the response. It concealed the battle. This is why your silence matters now. Speaking too soon can align you with frustration instead of faith. Reacting emotionally can pull you out of position. You are being asked to remain where you are, spiritually grounded, emotionally restrained, and mentally anchored. At this point, make a simple declaration of alignment. Comment, "I stay aligned." This is not just engagement, it is a statement of posture. It means you choose consistency over panic, trust over noise, endurance over explanation. You are closer than you think. The battle you cannot see is already shifting. But hold steady, stay aligned. The answer is on its way. When you say, "I stay aligned," you are declaring that your emotions no longer lead your decisions. You are choosing order over chaos, discipline over impulse, and trust over the need for immediate relief. That sentence is a refusal to let delay rewrite your faith. "I stay aligned" also means you understand that obedience does not require full explanation. You are agreeing to remain in position even when clarity is incomplete. You are telling heaven that you will not step out of alignment just to feel momentarily heard or validated. By writing "I stay aligned," you separate yourself from those who abandon the process too early. You declare that you will not sabotage progress by reacting to pressure. Alignment keeps you under divine protection while the unseen battle resolves in your favor. This declaration is not passive, it is an active stance of faith. It says you trust God's timing more than your urgency. As you remain aligned, resistance weakens, confusion clears, and the path forward opens without force or fear. When you declare "I stay aligned," you are making it clear that you will not abandon faith in the waiting season. You are choosing spiritual stability over emotional reaction. This statement affirms that you understand delay does not equal denial, and that God's process is still unfolding with precision. Saying "I stay aligned" is also a boundary. It signals that you will not allow outside voices, pressure, or confusion to pull you out of position. You are committing to remain steady, focused, and obedient until the outcome becomes visible and the purpose is fully revealed. Silence does something unusual in the spiritual realm. It turns the spotlight away from you and forces the truth to walk onto the stage alone. When you stop explaining, stop correcting, stop defending, the atmosphere changes. What once hid behind noise begins to surface. What relied on your reactions starts to collapse. This is not retreat. This is exposure by withdrawal. Think of silence like a mountain lake at dawn. When the wind stops, the water becomes a mirror. Every crack in the stone below, every shadow beneath the surface becomes visible. In the same way, when you remove your words, clarity settles, motives sink, intentions reveal themselves without effort. You do not have to uncover anything, stillness does the work for you. Many people believe confrontation reveals truth. Often, it only creates more distortion. Truth reveals itself best when pressure is removed. When you step back, others step forward, sometimes too far. They speak more than they should. They move without wisdom. They expose what restraint would have hidden. Your silence gives them the stage, and character writes the script. You are learning a higher form of authority. Authority that does not shout. Authority that does not rush. Authority that knows timing is more powerful than volume. This is why your restraint unsettles those who once felt in control. When you no longer react, they lose leverage. When you no longer explain, their assumptions unravel. Imagine a fire that feeds on oxygen. Every response you give is air. Every explanation is fuel. But when you step back, when you choose silence, the fire weakens. It does not explode. It fades. Many battles are not won by overpowering the flame, but by starving it. Right now, God is allowing situations to mature without your interference. Evidence needs time. Patterns need repetition. Exposure needs patience. If you interrupt too early, you blur the outcome. But if you wait, the truth arrives fully formed, undeniable, and final. Picture a chessboard. Beginners react to every move. Masters pause. They see the board differently. Silence gives you distance. Distance gives you vision. Vision gives you victory without chaos. You are not being slow, you are being strategic. This season may feel uncomfortable because you are resisting the urge to be understood. But being understood by people is temporary. Being aligned with truth is permanent. There is a moment coming when clarity will arrive without argument, when outcomes will speak louder than any statement ever could. The ancient words recorded in the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15, speak directly to this posture. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. Strength does not always advance. Sometimes it anchors. An anchor does not fight the storm, it holds position until the storm passes. Your silence is anchoring you. When the waves settle, you will still be standing exactly where you need to be. You may notice subtle shifts already. Conversations changing when you enter the room. People hesitating where they once assumed. That is the effect of quiet authority. When you no longer chase resolution, resolution begins to chase you. If this message feels like a lantern placed gently in your hand while you walk through fog, pause for a moment. Let a simple light be the act of lifting that light higher, so others don't stumble unseen. Share it the way you would leave a stone marker on a narrow mountain path for those walking behind you. And if this voice steadies your steps, subscribe not for noise, but so you remain near the fire when the night grows cold. You are not being ignored. You are being preserved. You are not losing momentum. You are being positioned for an ending that requires no defense. When the truth stands on its own, your silence will finally make sense. Stay still. Let exposure complete its assignment. Let quiet finish what words never could. Remain grounded as this season completes its work. What feels like waiting is actually alignment locking into place. You are learning how to stand without reaching, how to trust without grasping. That discipline will protect you long after this moment passes. Do not underestimate what restraint has built inside you. Patience has sharpened your discernment. Stillness has strengthened your awareness. You now recognize movement without noise and change without announcement. That awareness will guide you through what comes next. Soon, the atmosphere will shift naturally. No announcement will be needed. No defense will be required. The outcome will feel quiet but undeniable, like morning light filling a room without sound. You will recognize it instantly. Carry this lesson forward. Not every victory needs a voice. Not every truth needs explanation. Some seasons teach you to speak less so your life can say more. What you walk into next will confirm this was necessary. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when preparation ends and examination begins. This is not a test of talent, endurance, or intelligence. This is the crown test. It arrives quietly, without announcement, and it measures something deeper than action. It measures posture. It measures restraint. It measures whether you can carry authority without grasping for control. This is what we call the core practice facing the crown test. The crown test does not look dramatic. In fact, that is why many fail it. It appears as an opportunity to speak when silence is required. It shows up as a chance to defend yourself when God is asking you to trust Him instead. It often comes disguised as justification, urgency, or even righteousness. But underneath, the question is simple: can you hold power without proving you have it? To face this test practically, the first discipline is pause before response. When something triggers you, an accusation, a delay, an unfair outcome, you do not answer immediately. You give yourself space, not minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes days. This pause is not avoidance, it is sovereignty. It breaks the habit of emotional reflex and trains you to move from discernment instead of impulse. The second discipline is separating identity from outcome. The crown test presses hardest when your worth feels tied to being understood, validated, or seen as right. But crowns are not given to those who need applause to function. They are given to those who remain steady whether they are praised or misjudged. Practically, this means reminding yourself daily, my value does not rise or fall based on today's reaction from others. The third discipline is obedience without visibility. During the crown test, your obedience will often go unnoticed. No one claps for restraint. No one congratulates silence. But this is where authority is forged. Practice obedience when there is no audience. Choose integrity when it costs you recognition. This trains you to carry weight without depending on affirmation. Another core practice is watching patterns instead of reacting to moments. The crown test sharpens your vision. Instead of responding to isolated events, you begin to observe repetition. Who only speaks when pressured? Who disappears when accountability approaches? Who reveals themselves when you stop explaining? This observational posture protects you from emotional exhaustion and gives you clarity without confrontation. You are also being trained to release the need for immediate resolution. Crowns are not rushed. Rushed outcomes often produce fragile authority. Solid authority is built slowly, quietly, and without force. Practically, this means allowing unanswered questions to remain unanswered for a time. Trust grows when you let God close loops in His timing, not yours. This test also asks you to master internal alignment. What you think, feel, and believe must come into agreement. You cannot say you trust God while rehearsing fear internally. So your practice here is internal language. When anxiety rises, you do not feed it with catastrophic thinking. You gently redirect. This delay is not denial. This silence is not loss. This pressure is not punishment. The crown test often feels lonely. That is intentional. Crowns separate before they elevate. If everyone could walk with you through this phase, the weight of what you are about to carry would crush them. Solitude is not rejection here. It is reinforcement. The ancient words recorded in the letter of James, chapter 1, verse 12 speak directly to this moment. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love Him. Notice the order: trial first, perseverance next, crown last. The test is not a detour, it is the pathway. As a practical seal on this practice, make a single declaration of readiness. Comment 888 out of 8 below. This number represents alignment, endurance, and authority under restraint. By doing so, you are not seeking attention, you are marking agreement. You are acknowledging that you recognize the test and you choose to pass it. You are not being tested to break you. You are being tested to qualify you. The crown is not heavy by accident. It rests only on those who have learned how to carry weight without noise. Passing the crown test changes how you move forward. You no longer rush to be seen or heard, because confidence has replaced urgency. Authority settles into you quietly, like armor fitted beneath your skin, ready when needed but never demanding attention. From this point on, restraint becomes instinctive rather than forced. You recognize when to act and when to wait. The crown you are growing into will not tilt or slip, because it was formed through patience, endurance, and trust refined under pressure. There is a shift that happens after the crown test, and it is subtle enough that many people miss it. The noise outside may not change immediately, but something inside you settles. You no longer feel the same urgency to correct perceptions or control outcomes. What once felt threatening now feels distant. This is not detachment born of apathy. It is stability born of authority. At this stage, silence is no longer something you force yourself to practice. It becomes your natural posture. You have learned that not every provocation deserves your energy, and not every misunderstanding requires clarification. You recognize that truth does not need constant reinforcement. It holds its own weight. This is where discernment sharpens. You begin to notice how often confusion is fueled by unnecessary speech. You see how easily momentum is lost through emotional reactions. And you understand, perhaps for the first time, that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the mastery of response. What you are carrying now is composure. Composure allows you to remain steady while circumstances fluctuate. It keeps you from being pulled into cycles you have already outgrown. People may still test boundaries, but their attempts feel predictable rather than destabilizing. You are no longer surprised by behavior that once wounded you. This season also teaches you restraint with success. As doors begin to open even quietly, you resist the urge to announce them. You allow progress to mature before it is displayed. This protects what is growing. Premature exposure often weakens what could have become strong. You have learned that privacy is not secrecy, it is stewardship. There is also a new relationship with time forming inside you. You are less rushed, less reactive, more intentional. You understand that delays can be protective and that speed can sometimes be an enemy disguised as opportunity. You are learning to move at the pace of wisdom rather than pressure. Emotionally, you are becoming harder to manipulate. Guilt no longer moves you the way it once did. Neither does fear. You can listen without absorbing, observe without internalizing, and remain present without being pulled off center. This emotional maturity is a quiet strength few recognize but many feel. Spiritually, your trust has deepened. You no longer need constant reassurance that God is working. You sense alignment rather than demand confirmation. Faith has shifted from effort to posture. You believe not because you are trying to be strong, but because experience has taught you that God is consistent even when outcomes are delayed. This is where patience stops feeling like waiting and starts feeling like preparation. You are not idle. You are integrating lessons that will sustain you long term. Every moment of restraint has refined your judgment. Every unanswered question has strengthened your discernment. You may notice that fewer people have access to you now. This is not isolation, it is filtration. As your capacity grows, so does the need for boundaries. Not everyone is equipped to walk with you into what comes next. This is not arrogance, it is wisdom. Heaven speaks clearly through the words recorded in the Book of Lamentations. Chapter 3, verse 26. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Quiet waiting is not passive resignation. It is active trust. It is the confidence that you do not need to chase outcomes that are already assigned to you. Salvation, in this sense, is not only rescue, it is resolution, alignment, and fulfillment. At this point, your greatest strength is consistency. You show up the same whether circumstances favor you or not. You remain grounded whether acknowledged or overlooked. This steadiness becomes your signature. People may not understand it, but they respect it. You are being shaped into someone who cannot be easily provoked, rushed, or shaken. This is not accidental. It is preparation for influence that requires maturity. Influence without maturity destroys both the carrier and the recipients. God is preventing that by deepening you before elevating you. Nothing is wasted here. Every quiet decision, every restrained response, every moment of patience is compounding. When movement comes, and it will feel natural, not forced. You will step forward without anxiety because you have already learned how to stand still with strength. Remain where you are for now. Let this stability finish forming. What is ahead requires exactly who you are becoming in this moment. This stability will follow you into every new environment. You will notice how situations that once demanded effort now require only presence. Your calm becomes a reference point for others, even when you say very little. Carry this posture forward. Do not rush to exchange depth for speed. The steadiness you've gained is rare, and it will protect you when visibility increases and responsibility expands beyond what you have known. There comes a moment when silence finishes its assignment. Not with noise, not with announcement, but with arrival. You do not step into victory the way people imagine, arms raised, words ready, explanations prepared. You step into it the way dawn enters a room, quietly, inevitably, and suddenly, everything is visible. What you are winning now is not just an outcome, it is position. You are no longer trying to be understood. You are being recognized. You are no longer hoping doors open. You are walking through ones that were prepared while you waited. This is the kind of victory that does not need defense because it carries its own authority. Think of a sealed letter finally opened at the right time. The message inside has not changed, but now the recipient is ready. That is what this season has done to you. It has made you ready to receive what was always meant for you without mishandling it, misusing it, or losing yourself in it. The people who doubted your silence will not need an explanation. They will feel the shift. Those who underestimated your restraint will suddenly adjust their tone. Some will call it luck. Some will call it timing. But you will know the truth. It was obedience, it was patience, it was trust refined under pressure. Winning after silence feels different from winning through force. There is no rush to prove anything. No hunger for validation. Just clarity. Just peace. Just movement that feels aligned instead of exhausting. You are not scrambling to hold what you receive because you have already learned how to stand steady without it. You may notice something unexpected: compassion for those who opposed you. Not because they were right, but because you are no longer reactive. Elevation has softened you rather than hardened you. That is how you know this victory is healthy. It did not cost you your character. This is also where purpose sharpens. You begin to understand that what you went through was not just for you. Your restraint became a lesson. Your patience became a pattern others will follow. Your silence taught wisdom louder than any speech ever could, as the Apostle Paul wrote in the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 37. In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. More than conquerors does not mean louder. It means secure. It means unshaken. It means you win without becoming what tried to break you. That is the victory you are stepping into now. If this message has walked with you like a companion on a long road, let your response be as gentle as the journey itself. A quiet like is like leaving a small stone on the path, proof that someone passed this way and was strengthened. Sharing it is like opening a gate for the next traveler, not pushing them through, just making the way visible. And subscribing is like choosing to keep walking near the same fire at night. Not because you must, but because warmth and direction matter. If you feel moved, leave a comment, not to declare perfection, but to mark completion. To say, in your own words, that the silence has done its work, that waiting did not waste you, that victory arrived without stealing your peace. You are not who you were when this journey began. You are steadier, quieter, stronger in ways that cannot be rushed or replicated. And what comes next will not demand more noise from you, only more presence. Carry this forward. Let your life speak with calm authority. Let your steps confirm what your silence prepared. You have won, not by shouting, but by standing still long enough for truth to arrive. Walk gently into what follows. Victory does not always feel explosive. Sometimes it feels like finally exhaling after holding your breath for too long. You will notice how peace settles first, then clarity, then confidence. These are the signs that this win was earned the right way. Let humility remain your companion, not the kind that shrinks you, but the kind that keeps you grounded. You now know how quickly things can shift, and that awareness will help you steward what you've been given with wisdom instead of pride. There will be moments when you are tempted to explain your journey. You won't need to. Those who are meant to understand will recognize the fruit. Those who are not will never be convinced by words anyway. Your life will communicate more accurately than stories ever could. Keep choosing depth over display. The quiet strength you carry now is rare, and it will continue to open doors that noise never could. This chapter has ended well. The next one begins with confidence, clarity, and a peace that does not need permission to remain. You don't need to rush away from this moment. Let it settle. Some messages are meant to be carried forward loudly, others quietly folded into the heart. You will know which parts belong to you. What resonates will stay without effort. What doesn't will fade without loss. If these words were useful to you, if they steadied something inside or gave language to what you've been sensing, you are free to share them. Not as an obligation, not as a broadcast, but as one would pass a cup of water to someone walking the same road, gently, without expectation. And if this message was not meant to be shared, that is just as right. You may simply keep what touched you. Hold on to the insight that clarified your path, the sentence that slowed your breath, the reminder that arrived at the right time. Some things are meant to be lived, not repeated. There is no pressure to respond, no requirement to act. The value of this moment is not measured by visibility, but by honesty. Take what serves you, leave what doesn't. Trust your discernment. The path continues either way, quietly and naturally, and you will keep walking it wiser, steadier, and more aware than before.